Okay, here we are again, and it is now 6:30 on the 13th of October, 2017, and we are going to continue reading from the Summons of the Lord of Hosts, and this is going to be pages 14 to 18. And good morning, and I hope that everybody's enjoying the appearance of the dawn behind me, which I find so inspiring. I'm going to read a couple sentences from where I left off and then continue. O beauty of the All-Glorious! Shouldst thou chance upon this people, and enter their presence, and that's, of course, referring to the people that God is going to raise up who will believe in Baha'u'llah and will spread his teachings. Recount unto them that which this youth hath related unto thee concerning himself and the things that have befallen him, that they may come to know what hath been inscribed upon the preserved tablet. Acquaint them with the tidings of this youth, that's Baha'u'llah, and with the trials and tribulations he hath suffered, that they may become mindful of mine afflictions, and be of them that understand. Recount then unto them how we singled out for our favor one of our brothers, how we imparted unto him a dewdrop from the fathomless ocean of knowledge, clothed him with the garment of one of our names, and exalted him to such a station that all were moved to extol him, and how we so protected him from the harm of the malevolent as to disarm even the mightiest among them. Excuse me for a second, I'm going to adjust something here. We arose before the peoples. Goodbye.
Send me a text about tonight.
Okay. Sorry. We arose before the peoples of earth and heaven at a time when all had determined to slay us. While dwelling in their midst, we continually made mention of the Lord, celebrated his praise, and stood firm in his cause, until at last the word of God was vindicated amongst his creatures, his signs were spread abroad, his power exalted, and his sovereignty revealed in its full splendor. To this beareth witness all his honored servants. Yet, when my brother beheld the rising fame of the cause, he became filled with arrogance and pride. Thereupon he emerged from behind the veil of concealment, rose up against me, disputed my verses, denied my testimony, and repudiated my signs. Nor would his hunger be appeased unless he were to devour my flesh and drink my blood. To this testify such of God's servants as had accompanied him in his exile, and they that enjoy near access unto him. So Baha'u'llah here is referring to his brother, whom he raised after the death of their father, and who became desirous of leadership and filled with jealousy and all the things that he did. It's a tragic story. To this end, he conferred with one of my servants and sought to win him over to his own designs. That was to kill Baha'u'llah. Whereupon the Lord dispatched unto mine assistance the hosts of the seen and the unseen, protected me by the power of truth, and sent down upon me that which thwarted his purpose. Thus were foiled the plots of those who disbelieve in the verses of the All-Merciful. They truly are a rejected people. When news spread of that which the promptings of self had impelled my brother to attempt, our companions in exile learned of his nefarious design. The voice of their indignation and grief was lifted up and threatened to spread throughout the city. We forbade, however, such recriminations, and enjoined upon them patience, that they might be of those that endure steadfastly. By God, besides whom is none other God, we withstood all these trials with forbearance, and enjoined upon God's servants to show forth patience and fortitude. Removing ourselves from their midst, we took up residence in another house, that perchance the flame of envy might be quenched in our brother's breast, and that he might be guided aright. We neither opposed him nor saw him again thereafter, but remained in our home, placing our hopes in the bounty of God, the help in peril, the self subsisting. When, however, he realized that his deed had been exposed, he seized the pen of calumny and wrote unto the servants of God, attributing what he had himself committed unto mine own peerless and wronged beauty. His purpose was none other than to inspire mischief among God's servants, and to instill hatred into the hearts of those who had believed in God, the all-glorious, the all-loving. By the one in whose hand is my soul, we were dismayed by his deceitfulness. Nay, bewildered were all things, visible and invisible. Nor did he find respite from what he harbored in his bosom, until he had committed that which no pen dare describe, and by which he disgraced the dignity of my station, and profaned the sanctity of God, the Almighty, the All-Glorious, the All-Praised. Were God to turn all the oceans of the earth into ink, and all created things into pens, they would not suffice me to exhaust the record of his wrongdoings. Thus do we recount that which befell us, that haply ye may be of them that understand. So this is what I think Baha'u'llah is referring to by saying he committed that which no pen dare describe, and by which he disgraced the dignity of my station and profaned the sanctity of God. although Mirza Yahya did attempt to kill Baha'u'llah on more than one occasion, I don't think that's what Baha'u'llah is referring to. What happened was, when Baha'u'llah was in his banishment, his third banishment in Adrianople, and this happened where Mirza Yahya tried to get Baha'u'llah's barber to slit his throat, and that's the event that Baha'u'llah is referring to here, where he says, when people found out what happened, when his followers found out what happened, they were very, very upset. But Baha'u'llah told them, don't talk about this, don't spread this, be patient. And finally, Baha'u'llah sent a message to Mirza Yahya directly, in which he directly proclaimed his station as the one whom God would make manifest, prophesied by the Bab. And at that point, Mirza Yahya asked for 24 hours before he gave his answer. And in that 24 hours, he wrote his own declaration. And he himself proclaimed himself. And I think that is the event that Baha'u'llah is referring to when he says he committed that which no pen dare describe, and by which he disgraced the dignity of my station and profaned the sanctity of God, the Almighty, the All-Glorious, the All-Praised. It's just my opinion, and I could be wrong. I'm not a scholar, but that's what I think he's talking about. So if you are a scholar and you know more than me, please enlighten us. Returning to the text. O pen of eternity. And that refers again to Baha'u'llah. One of his names was the pen, because of the abundance of his sacred writings. Grieve not at the things that have befallen thee, for ere long shall God raise up a people who will see with their own eyes, and will recall thy tribulations. Withhold thy pen from the mention of thine enemies, and bestir it in the praise of the eternal King. Renounce all created things, and quaff the sealed wine of my remembrance. Beware, lest thou become occupied with the mention of those from whom naught save the noisome savors of enmity can be perceived, those who are so enslaved by their lust for leadership that they would not hesitate to destroy themselves in their desire to emblazon their fame and perpetuate their names. God hath recorded such souls in the preserved tablet as mere worshippers of names. Recount then that which thou hast purposed for this temple, that its signs and tokens may be made manifest upon earth, and that the brightness of this light may illumine the horizons of the world and cleanse the earth from the defilement of those who have disbelieved in God. Thus have we set down the verses of God and made plain the matter unto those who understand. O living temple, stretch forth thy hand over all who are in heaven and on earth, and seize within the grasp of thy will the reins of command. We have verily placed in thy right hand the empire of all things. Do as thou willest, and fear not the ignorant. Reach out to the tablet that hath dawned above the horizon of the pen of thy Lord, and take hold of it with such strength that through thee the hands of all who inhabit the earth may be enabled to lay fast hold upon it. This in truth is that which becometh thee, if thou be of those who understand. Through the upraising of thy hand to the heaven of my grace, the hands of all created things shall be lifted up to their Lord, the mighty, the powerful, the gracious. Ere long shall we raise up, through the aid of thy hand, other hands, endued with power, with strength and might, and shall establish through them our dominion over all that dwell in the realms of revelation and creation. Thus will the servants of God recognize the truth that there is none other God beside me, the help in peril, the self-subsisting. With these hands, moreover, we shall both bestow and withhold, though none can understand this, save those who see with the eye of spirit. Okay, so we're going to end our session there. Thank you so much for joining us or for watching. Please do comment. We'd love to hear from you. And have a blessed day.